In April of 1966, Warren and Char Bolthouse launched Family Life Radio Evangelistic Corporation. From day one, it was built upon a vision to help people grow closer to God. Throughout the 1970s and 80s, the ministry established radio stations in Michigan, Arizona, and New Mexico, reaching hundreds of thousands with the message of God's love. Throughout the 90s and 2000s, the ministry flourished even more when it launched its first call-in program called Parent Talk with ministry president Dr. Randy Carlson, and in 2007 transitioned the program to its present name of Intentional Living. In 2015, 90.3 Family Life Radio Phoenix was named by Nielsen Ratings as the fastest growing station in a PPM market in the United States, growing by over 30%. A staple in Christian broadcasting since 1966, Family Life Radio has grown to 40 stations, covering 11 states, with a reach of more than 17 million people. Dr. Robert and Pauline Dallenbach have been involved with the Pillar of Fire radio network for over 70 years. Dr. Robert, or Dr. D as his team calls him, began his radio career in 1941 as a control boy. His career with KPOF spans from 1949 to today, and to this day he still records sermons and serves as host of Sunday Evening Classical Music, which airs every Sunday from 7 to 10 p.m. He also serves as the network's coordinator for KPOF in Denver, WAWZ in New Jersey, and WAKW in Cincinnati, Ohio. His wife Pauline began in radio at the age of 2, singing the children's program closing theme song, Goodnight Little Children, live on KPOF. She not only sang on the radio for numerous years, but helped produce programs, write programs, and direct music at Pillar of Fire Christian schools, which were broadcast. Pauline, now 89 years old, played violin with the Denver Philharmonic Orchestra, the Centennial Philharmonic Orchestra, the Brico Symphony Orchestra, and the Denver Businessmen's Orchestra, and has recently retired after 51 years. Robert and Pauline are a true testament to faithful service to our Lord and to Christian broadcasting. David Eschliman started his career in radio in 1959, working first as a volunteer while attending Eastern Mennonite High School. While attending Bob Jones University, Dave worked as a staff announcer during the school year and during the summer. During 1964 to 1969, he served as announcer and assistant manager at WBYO, Boyertown, Pennsylvania. Dave went on to work for the Walter Bennett Company as manager of WPKO in Waverly, Ohio, and in 1974 came to work for WBTX. In 1989, WLTK-FM was added and is now leased to K-Love. Dave and his wife Joyce own Massanutten Broadcasting Company, and as he moves into retirement, he continues as president of MBC. Dave has been an active member of the NRB since the early 1970s. He is also a founding member of the NRB Radio Committee and continues to host a weekly program on WBTX each Saturday morning featuring Southern gospel music. Born in Havana, Cuba, Stan Jeter grew up in a missionary family, living in Spain and Morocco. He began his Christian broadcasting career in 1961 at KGEI, the Voice of Friendship, with FEBC, a shortwave radio station transmitting to Latin America from the San Francisco Bay Area. After graduating from San Jose State College in 1968, Stan joined the Peace Corps and worked in remote areas of Colombia with educational TV. After 3 years of rejoining the KGEI team as program director, Stan began working with the Luis Palau Evangelistic Association and participated in evangelistic crusades in Latin America, producing radio programs, documentaries, promotional videos, and live call-in TV programs. Throughout the 80s and 90s, Stan co-founded KOICOM, a Latin American equivalent of NRB, founded Christian World News, and became a producer for CBN News, where he worked for 20 years. Since then, Christian World News has aired in Spanish, Korean, Romanian, Russian, and Chinese versions. More recently, Stan launched Comunicadores USA, a similar organization for Hispanics in the U.S. Stan has served over 50 years in Christian broadcasting and is committed to training a new generation of communicators in many parts of the world. Nevin Larson joined Donald Crawford and the new WDCX-FM as host of the popular afternoon drive music show Traveling Home in 1966. Nev also served as the evening news anchor and promotions director of the Rising radio station. In 1974, he became the general manager as WDCX continued to grow into one of America's most unique stations, covering Buffalo, Toronto, all of Western New York, Northwestern Pennsylvania, and Southern Ontario. From 1992 to 2011, Nev served as general manager of the New York Network Christian stations. In 2011, he became the Crawford Broadcasting Company's Director of Christian Programming. In his 50th year of Christian broadcasting, Nev has faithfully served the NRB, first attending in 1974 and serving in various leadership roles on the NRB Board of Directors and on the radio, finance, awards, and resolution committees. Roger Stubbe grew up on a farm in northwest Iowa. He accepted a call to the mission field with HCJB in August of 1964 and started installing and servicing transmitters, antennas, and other equipment for the ministry. In 1970, Roger was appointed as HCJB Director of Engineering, and his family moved to the city of Quito, Ecuador. Some of his responsibilities included being the coordinator of HCJB's Latin American office, coordinator of their Portuguese service, director of HCJB FM, and director of broadcasting operations in Ecuador. Since the 1970s, Roger has been tasked to serve in Kenya, Zambia, and out of the mission's headquarters in Colorado Springs, Colorado. He has also sat on the World by Radio Standing Committee, representing HCJB World Radio. HCJB is now known as Reach Beyond and is the influential ministry it is today, in part due to the 50 years of faithful service by Roger Stubbe.